The Italian Mafia remains a powerful and dangerous entity, but its operations have evolved dramatically. The death of Capo di Tutti Capi Matteo Messina Denaro in 2023 signaled the end of an era, but certainly not the end of Italy's mafia problem. Now, Italy faces a resurgence of various mafia groups, with the Ndrangheta surpassing its Sicilian cousins in power, while La Cosa Nostra and other regional factions regroup. This video dives into the state of Italy's infamous mafia organizations. The rise of the Ndrangheta, Europe's powerhouse. The Ndrangheta, based in Calabria, has firmly established itself as the most powerful mafia organization in Italy and possibly all of Europe. Once overshadowed by Sicily's Cosa Nostra, the Ndrangheta has taken control of the lucrative cocaine trade, extending its influence from South America to the streets of European cities. Unlike other mafia groups, the Ndrangheta operates in a decentralized manner, with families managing their own territories but maintaining close connections. This structure has allowed the group to avoid large-scale crackdowns, although the 2023 Maxi trial saw over 230 members convicted. Their financial prowess is also unmatched, with an estimated annual revenue of 50 billion euros from both legal and illegal businesses. The group's influence now extends beyond drugs, including money laundering, arms trafficking, and public contracts, which have allowed them to infiltrate even legitimate sectors across Europe. Financial crimes and political influence. One of the most alarming aspects of the Italian Mafia is its infiltration of legitimate institutions, including politics and finance. The Ndrangheta, in particular, has forged relationships with local politicians and business leaders, using these ties to funnel illicit funds into legal businesses. The 2023 conviction of Giancarlo Pitelli, a former politician, for mafia collusion, highlighted how deeply these criminal organizations are entrenched in Italian politics. Pitelli was sentenced to 11 years in prison, but he is just one of many politicians entangled with organized crime. Beyond Italy, these mafia groups have also expanded their financial crimes across Europe, using sophisticated methods to launder money and hide their activities. This has made it increasingly difficult for law enforcement to track and dismantle their networks, despite ongoing efforts. La Cosa Nostra. After the fall of Denaro, La Cosa Nostra, Sicily's most infamous mafia group, has experienced significant changes following the death of Matteo Messina Denaro. Once considered the most powerful mafia boss in Italy, Denaro's arrest in January 2023 and subsequent death in September 2023 marked a turning point for the organization. However, the group has not disappeared. Instead, it has shifted its focus to more discreet and less violent activities. While the days of public bombings and assassinations may be over, La Cosa Nostra remains active in extortion, public contracts, and drug trafficking. Its leaders have learned from past mistakes, avoiding the high-profile attention that led to Denaro's downfall. Instead, they are concentrating on rebuilding their power base quietly, with younger leaders emerging to take control of the organization. Mafia's global reach. The Italian Mafia is no longer confined to Italy. Its global reach has expanded in recent decades, particularly through the Ndrangheta's control of international drug trafficking routes. Cocaine from South America is smuggled into Europe through Calabrian ports, and the Mafia's influence extends into countries like Germany, Canada, and Australia. This international network is one of the key reasons the Ndrangheta has become so powerful. By partnering with other organized crime groups across the world, the Italian Mafia has diversified its criminal enterprises, making it more resilient to law enforcement actions. In recent years, these international connections have been critical for expanding their influence into new markets and securing their dominance over global trafficking routes. High-tech crime and cyber attacks. In the digital age, the Mafia has also evolved. Cybercrime has become one of their most lucrative ventures, with mafia groups like the Ndrangheta investing heavily in online fraud, ransomware, and cryptocurrency laundering. They have embraced the anonymity provided by the dark web and encrypted communication, making it harder for law enforcement to track their activities. Additionally, cyber attacks targeting businesses and governments have allowed mafia groups to extort millions without ever leaving their hideouts. These high-tech crimes represent a new frontier for the mafia, offering vast profits with relatively low risks compared to traditional criminal activities like drug trafficking or extortion. Environmental crimes, a silent threat. One of the lesser-known but equally damaging aspects of mafia activities is their involvement in environmental crimes. In southern Italy, particularly in regions like Campania, the Camorra has been implicated in the illegal disposal of toxic waste. Dubbed the Triangle of Death, areas under mafia control have suffered severe environmental degradation, with toxic substances being dumped in rivers, fields, and illegal landfills. This has had a catastrophic effect on the local population, leading to higher rates of cancer and other illnesses. These environmental crimes continue, despite government crackdowns and public outrage. The mafia's involvement in waste management and construction contracts allows them to profit from environmental devastation, making it a significant and growing problem in Italy. Law enforcement's fight. Historic maxi trials. Despite the mafia's growing power, law enforcement in Italy has achieved significant victories in recent years. The 2023 maxi trial targeting the Ndrangheta is one of the most notable examples of this. Over 330 suspected members of the group were charged with crimes ranging from extortion and drug trafficking to murder. The trial lasted nearly 3 years, and its conclusion saw 230 convictions handed down, marking a historic moment in Italy's fight against organized crime. These large-scale trials are reminiscent of the 1980s anti-mafia efforts, which successfully weakened La Cosa Nostra. However, while these convictions are a significant step forward, they represent only a fraction of the mafia's total membership. The fight is far from over, as new members are recruited and existing networks adapt to law enforcement tactics. The mafia and the media. Dangerous attention. The Italian Mafia has always had a complicated relationship with the media. In the 1990s, figures like Toto Riina and Messina Denaro gained notoriety through their violent tactics, making headlines worldwide. However, in this year, the mafia has learned the dangers of too much attention. Modern mafia bosses avoid the media spotlight, preferring to operate in the shadows to avoid the fate of their predecessors. This has made the mafia more dangerous in some respects, as their activities are harder to detect. Without the high-profile murders and public bombings of the past, the mafia's influence is more insidious, penetrating deeper into Italian society without attracting the same level of media attention. The mafia and the drug trade. The mafia's involvement in the drug trade has only grown in recent years. Italy's ports, particularly those controlled by the Ndrangheta, serve as major entry points for cocaine and heroin destined for Europe. The mafia controls every aspect of the supply chain, from production in South America to distribution in Europe's major cities. This dominance has allowed them to generate vast amounts of wealth, which is then funneled into legal businesses to launder their profits. Despite law enforcement crackdowns, the drug trade remains one of the mafia's most profitable enterprises. In this year, this shows no sign of slowing down, with Italian authorities continuing to seize record amounts of narcotics in major busts. That's the inside scoop on the current state of the Italian Mafia. From global drug empires to cybercrime, it's clear that these criminal organizations are evolving, and fast. If you found this deep dive fascinating and want more content like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you'll never miss an update on the world's most dangerous organizations, crime stories, and more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.